So in today's video, we're going to be exploring the recent Father's Day post that Meghan put up, the video montage that she put up of Harry and two children. So we're going to be delving a little bit into this and some of the inconsistencies that I picked up on. So if this is a type of video for you, where my name is Ems, I'm a qualified UK therapist, and as much as this channel is not therapy, I use the over 20 years experience I've had in this field to help you understand body language, behaviour, mainly around narcissism, because it is my opinion that I believe that Meghan is a malignant narcissist. I think Harry also has some narcissistic tendencies, and so I do explore that in these videos, and other celebrities if they also come along presenting the same behaviour. So if this is for you, then don't forget to subscribe to the channel so you do not miss future uploads, and like the video because it does help the algorithm and tells YouTube that I'm a channel worth keeping. That being said, if you're still here, welcome. Grab your cuppa, sit back, relax as we get into this video. So, hey everyone, whether you are here from the beginning of all of this or you are new and you have joined here, welcome to all the new people. But also I just want to say thank you to every single one of you who have wished me a happy birthday, who sent me cards, emails, messages, bought me a cuppa, presents. I have been thoroughly spoiled over my birthday. I was blown away and I really felt the love from all of you, and I'm just really grateful. And I know I've said this before, and I know that sometimes it can feel like people just say it, but I genuinely do love the community that we've built here. I think that we have got a fantastic group of people and we are all so respectful of each other. And I love the fact that we show kindness, compassion, but we're also not afraid to speak the truth, and we're not afraid to challenge each other, which is also one of the best things about this channel. I feel is that we can have different opinions and we do it in a respectful way. So just thank you very much for all of your love and support for my birthday. It really did mean a huge amount to me. Right, so let's get into the video, what you're here for. So of course we had over the weekend, which was also a lovely little extra for my birthday. It's like the king knew. How very narcissistic am I? Obviously Trooping of the Colour, and the royal family were out and they just looked amazing. William I sometimes do think that could William get any more attractive as a man? And then, sort of he wears his uniform and it's almost like that Officer and a Gentleman moment. I don't know if you've seen that film. Way to go, Paula, way to go. Obviously, Catherine, come on. We've got to acknowledge the fact that she is just stunning. Honestly, I really feel that it wouldn't matter what she wore, she would absolutely rock it. At this point, I think she could wear a bin liner and she would still look phenomenal. She just looked amazing. Those colours really suited her. And of course we had Princess Charlotte that was sort of matching in the colour. And the boys as well, Prince Louis and Prince George. And I'll also put some photographs up here. Looked absolutely amazing. And it was just beautiful weather. The turnout was phenomenal, like it always is. And I do feel that this frustration where I hear, because there's always going to be protesters, as per there was protesters there. But if you look at the protesters, there's not that many, not in the comparison of the people that come out to support the royal family. But I think I've said this before, and I will get into the Harry and Meghan stuff, but I've said this before, that I really feel one of the things, as much as I love the monarchy, aside from the huge misstep I feel that they've created with allowing Harry and Meghan to be able to get as far as what they've got in the way they've behaved, I think if I was somebody that was advising the royal family, I would suggest to them that they really do need to focus on the younger generation. Because if you listen to when a lot of the younger generation are spoken to or ask questions about the royal family, they generally don't know. And I think that they, if they're being also raised by people that don't necessarily understand how much the monarchy brings to in tourist revenue to the country, and I think that people are missing that. When people are calling for a republic, it's like they seem to forget the amount of revenue that is brought to the country by the royal family. And I don't see that being the same if we had President Starmer in charge. And I think people also I think they're almost like they're so anti-monarchist that at times they don't even realise why they're anti-monarchist. And I think they just kind of see this as an institution that takes the taxpayers' money. And actually, if you look at it, it's about, I think, it's less than £1 per taxpayer. So I know that there's obviously a lot of controversies around that, etc. But I think, again, people have, and correct me if I'm wrong, but anyway, so just, I'm digressing a little bit, I know. But I just, when I saw them out, I was thinking, we wouldn't have this. If we didn't have the monarchy, we wouldn't have this. We wouldn't have thousands and millions of people flocking to the UK every single year because they want to see the Buckingham Palace, they want to see the changing of the guard, they want to see trooping of the colour, they want to come for the state events that we have. It's like the pomp and circumstance. It's such an age-old tradition. And it's to me, it's fundamentally important. But I think that what they're missing is that they're not engaging. It's like bringing out some of the younger royals, getting them to sort of engage, to create them an understanding with the younger generation, to understand what the royal family, their role in the country, which is what I feel Meghan and Harry are trying to do. So I feel Harry and Meghan are trying to undermine the royal family, but by doing so, they're trying to groom the younger generation, which is why she's putting out these silly twerking videos and things like that, because she's like, I'm hip and I'm cool and I'm down with the youngsters. And if you look at when they've done these faux royal tours, who do they focus on? They go to the schools, they go to the younger generation, and this is what they're attempting to do. They're constantly focusing on the younger generation. And there's a reason behind that, because they know as the older ones die off, the ones that are real staunch monarchists, you're left with a generation that really doesn't understand the role of the royal family. And if you don't, then you're going to sort of lean towards people that you think are cool and fun and like, oh yeah, they've got my best interests at heart, when they really haven't. And if you haven't seen my video before, you'll see what I mean if you go back and watch that, because they are playing with some very underhand people. They are swimming with sharks. And unfortunately, Harry's like a guppy, swimming around with shark mama Meghan, thinking that she's kind of, she's going to support and help him, and actually she's not. And so he's swimming around with it, in this sort of, in these dark waters, and he doesn't really understand what he's doing. He's just going along with it because she's probably telling him, well, this, I know best and I know what I'm doing. But this is what I think they're doing. They're just grooming the younger generation, and it's very, very dangerous. So that's that. But I think then sort of going on to, then you've got the montage that she put out on Father's Day. Now, thankfully, it didn't overshadow the trooping of the colour. I think she put it out later because, when I saw it go up the day, when I looked at it, I think it was on the Monday, and it looked like the video had been put up 13 hours prior to that. So it's almost like she put it at the latter end of what would have been trooping the colour. So I suppose from a standpoint that she probably realises that if she, in her mind, she probably thought that if she put it up adjacent, people are going to be, it's going to be very, very blatantly obvious what she's doing, but also because she wants to get maximum attention for the video. Not that it really did. I think that this is the kind of last thing they have, right? This kind of using the children, and I say their children loosely because you know my feelings on this, but I think that this is kind of like her, like she's been sort of teasing, and then we've kind of got this montage, but if you look at it, now I'm going to put it up here and then we're going to talk about it because, well, I say I'm going to put it up here. Hopefully it won't get a copyright strike because it's on her Instagram. So I think I can do it. If not, I may have to just do sort of a little chunk of it. But anyway, but I've taken off the music, and I'll probably do a little bit of a voiceover over it. So yeah, so here it is.
So this could be anyone, even though we're being led to believe, obviously, this is the boy. But it is very possible that this is Harry's son. But it's a lot of older footage, again. And it's just very sort of, yeah, this is a lot of the stuff that was in the Netflix docuseries. But if you look at the way that they portrayed Lily, it's like she looks a lot older, like someone that's supposed to be 2 years younger than the boy when we see them together. But I think that this is possibly like if Harry does have visitation rights, that he spends time with the boy. But like here, look at how big the girl is in comparison to the boy that we're being told is Archie, she looks just as big, if not a little bit bigger than him. I mean, this is hard because this is a very sweet moment, and I do think this is the real boy. I think that we are seeing older footage of the real Archie when he spent time, but again, she just looks a lot older here. It's like she's like a completely different child. We never see the two of them together. Like I say, any sweet, real sort of moment where we see them face on. A lot of older footage of Archie again, but then nothing like of Archie recently. This is all old footage. It's just really, and like I say, look at Lily there. It's like, how old is she there?
So as you can see, when you look at the footage, firstly, it is the weirdest footage I've ever seen in regards to celebrating somebody on Father's Day. Again, you've got, it's old footage of Harry and the boy. And you know, if you've been here with me, you know that I've said that I believe there is a boy, and I believe that the boy is Harry's. So if you look at the footage with that in mind, that makes sense, because predominantly most of that footage is of Harry and a boy who we're being told is Archie. But it's obviously Archie when he's younger. So what I think, which I have mentioned, is that I think that Hazzy, who's Hazzy? Hazzy, that Harry has visitation rights. So I think that every now and again he spends time with his son, which is why we've seen some footage of Archie when he's younger. But if you also look at the fact that there's no footage of Lily when she's younger, there's no footage of, say, Lily being born and then a young Archie giving Lily a sweet kiss or something along those lines. There's nothing that looks credible that shows that they were sort of together and this is real, so to speak. Again, you've got Harry and the boy, and then you've got a few pictures of Lily, alleged Lily, but the back of her. We've already seen her eyes. We've already seen them apparently at Disney, but suddenly we've gone back to, well, we're now seeing the back of Lily again. So you're telling me that you've got no photographs or videos of when Lily was born, no photographs or videos of when Lily was born, brought home, and say she was there with the boy Archie that we're being led to believe. There's no videos or footage of Harry and Lily over the years until we see Lily as a 5-year-old, which is what we've seen, right? We haven't really seen Lily apart from this alleged child, which does look, and I will say, remarkably like Stacey Schroeder daughter. I have to be honest and say that she absolutely does look very like her. So is there possibility that she's morphing certain pictures? Because if you look at the picture of Stacey Schroeder's daughter, she has the same sort of build. She's a similar age, because I think she was born in January of the same year, whereas Lily was born obviously allegedly in June. So is it the same? And she's just using this. They're supposedly friends. I mean, I would like to think that nobody would do that, but then we also know that Meghan is pretty calculated, so it could be that she's taken certain footage from social media because, you know, Stacey has put her daughter on social media. You know, how do you prove that somebody's using your child, especially if you're manipulating the face, which I think she did with the Disney photograph. I think that she manipulated, because I know that some people said, oh, I don't believe that photograph is real. It might not be. I mean, at the end of the day, I don't know. I'm only going by what this lady has said that she did. She managed to take the emojis away, and you can do that because there are apps that you can do that, editing software. And I think what Meghan has tried to do, I think she's tried to manipulate. So she's taken this girl, because again, we're only going with the fact that we're being led to believe this. So we're going with the fact that, for all we know, Meghan went to Disney with Stacey's daughter and they went as a family, and there's just footage of that. I don't know. I don't think that happened, but we don't know. So I think that she's trying to morph. And if you look at the picture that come out, and again, I'll put it up here, where the person took the heart emojis away, you can see that the photograph looks manipulated, but we don't know, and let's be honest, we don't know that Meghan didn't do this. So it could be that she's almost attempting to morph a young Diana's face onto this little girl to create sort of this illusion that this little girl looks like Diana, because we know that we've seen so many photographs of Princess Charlotte where a lot of people have said that she looks like Diana, she looks like the late Queen, a young late Queen. It's like, and of course Meghan would hate this, so it's very possible that she's played around and tried to manipulate the photograph, and it's gone wrong. So she's then stuck the emoji over, thinking that no one would ever do anything about that, but of course this person's managed to do that. But you have this footage that's gone up, which, like I say, shows mainly Harry with the boy. And so I do think that potentially some of that is possibly genuine photographs or video footage of Harry with his son. So, of course, then begs the question, is like, how is he even allowing the fact that she's even doing this? And I don't necessarily believe that he is allowing it. I think that she's really playing the mind games with Harry. Because again, like I say, there's no footage of, or so credible footage of Meghan and Harry, or Harry and what we're being led to believe is Lily. And again, the changes. It's like, so who's this child? It's like, who, you know, or is this him? And then, but they've manipulated things so much that we don't know who we're being shown. You know, we've seen years. Was it a couple of years ago? We saw a picture of. When Doria and Meghan were supposedly on a Zoom chat with quite a grown-up looking boy, who we were, again, being led to believe is Archie. Now, to me, you could absolutely see that this was a Photoshop effort. It was awfully done. But still, the boy looked incredibly grown up. And that was a couple of years ago. But since then, we've seen them change size, change height, change look, change hair. Nothing is credible. Now, I know children change, but they don't change back and forth to that degree. We, you know, by the way that Harry and Meghan have said that the Archie is now what is 2019, so he's just turned 6. Is it 6? He's just turned. Oh God, my maths. Yeah, so he's just turned 6, and then we have the fact that Lily has just turned 4. But yet, at certain points of photographs, Lily looks more grown up than the boy. So it's like, so what gives? And again, like I say, you've got to look at the fact that there's always an agenda when it comes to narcissists. So it's like, why has she put that footage out? Why is she playing games? And it's, you know, when I look at the twerking video, to me, that was her poking the bear. I don't care what anyone says. That was her poking the bear. That was not her going, oh, you know, this is me pregnant and I'm about to give birth. She has stoked the surrogacy rumours again. She would know that would happen. She's not stupid. So the fact that she's done that says to me that I think there is some part of her that wants the truth to be found out. It's like she's really playing mind games now. And I think that this is what she's doing. She's using her Instagram to play mind games. And I think that she's now doing it with Harry as well. So when she's put this footage out, it's showing Harry and the boy. And I would imagine that there's probably something that's been arranged with the real mother that says, you know, I won't have you murching my child. It's like, you know, you're not to do that. But of course, Meghan being the way that she is, she's not listening to what anyone says. She's going to do what she wants, because the threat will be is, fine, expose it then. Because what I'll do is I'll come out and say, you made me do it. That you didn't want a biracial child in the family, that you were unfaithful and you did something and I was humiliated. You know, we'd gone from having this wonderful love story and you cheated on me and I'm humiliated. So you made me go along with this fake pregnancy, and I was devastated, and the grief of that, and I miscarried and all this. You know that this is what she would do. She would come out the forever victim. And even though most of us would be like, we don't buy it, the sympathy that would garner her would probably be huge. There'll be people that are on the fence, that are not quite sure, that would feel that they would, that, you know, we'd have celebrities coming out and going, oh my gosh, this is so awful, we can't believe this. And it would damage the royal family more than probably what it is now. Because as I've said before, if they've lied about this, because they must know, even if they didn't know then, they must know now. And the fact is, if they're going along with the lie, if this Pandora's box gets opened, then people are going to start to question and say, well, if you've lied about this, what else have you lied about? Did you lie about Diana? Did you lie about Andrew? Was the connection bigger? You know, what has Charles got up to? What is, you know, and everything will be scrutinized. And I think that the royal family just cannot afford for that to happen, especially with King Charles being ill. And I do think he's iller than what we're being told. Now, when William becomes king, if things start to come out then, a lot of people may not be so quick to judge, because they're going to think, well, it's not William's fault. It's not William's fault that the king and the late queen have done some things. We can't blame him. Now, I mean, it's not going to be nice, but I think it would lessen the blow if it come out while William was king. You know, and he could almost position it as in, I've just found all of this out, and so I'm now acting on this. I don't know, but it just seems to me that this is what she's doing. She's really, really playing mind games with not just us, the public, the mainstream media, but I think she's really also doing it with Harry and Meghan. And of course, she's also had this recent podcast where she's gone on and done another interview. Why is it she always seems, well, why am I saying why? I do know, but she always seems to find sycophantic people to interview her. And this is what I mean. She is so afraid of being called out. She is so afraid of being challenged that whenever she speaks to anyone or does anything, it is so ultimately controlled, and it is so, the interviews are done in such a way that they're just nothing but sycophantic. And of course she brings up the twerking video of like, oh, you know, there's another life in there, you know, and it's like everything is orchestrated with her, and she just cannot see. This is why she is so disliked, because none of this is genuine. Who releases a twerking video that you did 4 years ago? Because at the end of the day, that craze it started, I think, 2018, and it was sort of still going on, not quite as heightened as 2021, 2022, but it certainly would have made more sense to put it out then. But to put it out now, 4 years later, you know, to celebrate your child's, fourth birthday? That doesn't make sense. But it does make sense if she's using it to poke at Harry, to poke at the royal family, because, like I said, it has caused a lot of people to question what she's doing, to question the pregnancy. And like I say, she's not stupid. She would have known this. She would have known when she put that out, it was going to create some backlash. And you know, so I really do feel that this is what these games that she's playing. And then, like I say, you couple that with the people that they're in bed with, it's very, very underhand. And I think it's very, very serious. And I think, like I've said before, people should not underestimate this woman. Because as much as I don't like her, and I know that none of you out there like her either because of her behaviour, but if we look at this if we put the emotion to one side, this is a woman that nobody knew about, that was in a series that not really many people knew, and she certainly wasn't a main character, so she was very forgettable, and I mean that in sort of in a literal sense. She wasn't one of the main characters, so nobody really knew about her, has somehow maneuvered and grifted her way into one of the most famous families in the world. And now, if you look at it now, the opportunities that have come from marrying into that family, she is now someone that there is not a person, I think, on the planet, unless they live in the back of beyond, that doesn't know the name Meghan Markle. All right, it comes with controversy, it comes with being infamous. I don't think, you know, she's not liked, but she's still somebody that pretty much everyone knows her now. It takes some doing to get from where nobody knows you at quite a late stage in your life to now pretty much everybody knows you. Now, like I say, I mean, she's not liked, and people certainly are not clamoring to kind of do anything with her. This is why she tends to find people that are not well known. So, like this person that this Emma person, same name as me, that did the sort of interview with her. It's like, you know, Lemonada. Nobody really heard of Lemonada until Meghan signed with them. So from a business perspective, if you're not a very well known company, or a person well known, then of course having someone like Meghan, even if it comes with controversy, it then springboards you to being known. So I understand it from that perspective. So that's why, to me, it's like Jamie Lee Curtis. I mean, okay, she's a billionaire or a multi-millionaire, but I'd never heard of her. She was not in my, you know, it's not someone that I would think of Googling. But then, of course, she has Meghan on her podcast, and now everyone knows who she is. So, from a business standpoint, I get that. I think that they all use each other. I don't think that there's any, we're having you on because I really like who you are. It's like they just use each other. And that's a really awful way to be. I wouldn't want to live in sort of in that society of, you know, with the friends and family that I have. I know I'm loved. I know I love them. They love me, and that's how it needs to be and should be. I would hate to be in a situation where my friends are any friends with me because of say, you know, if I was famous or if I have money or whatever it is. I mean, that's a horrible way to be. But that's who she is. That's the type of person she is. So of course, like attracts like. You know, you get the fans you deserve, in my opinion. So I think that that's what she's doing. I think that she's trying to separate herself from Harry. She's trying to build this brand because apparently now she's restocking or preserves on June the 20th. And I think, again, that's because she's got nothing else. She's got nothing else. And she's probably been told off by Netflix because at the end of the day, Netflix are trying to get their as much money back from, in a sense, from what the $1 million deal they had with her. So of course they're going to want to promote some of her products on their Netflix shop. And if she's basically going, well, I'm not doing anymore, they're probably sitting there going, what are you doing? No, we've just literally signed, we've literally partnered with you. You can't just then be saying, well, I'm not doing any more products. So she's probably been made to produce some more. And a bit like her, oh my gosh, I'm so successful, they've given me a second series, when actually, no, that second series was always there. It had been pre-recorded. There was always going to be 16 episodes. So, but the way that she creates it to be is like, oh my gosh, I'm so successful, they want me for a second season, rather than telling the truth. And I think that's probably what's happened with her situation with her preserves. Netflix have gone, you're not just jacking this in. You know, it's like, no. You know, we've ploughed money into this. Don't be so stupid. But yeah, so I don't know. I mean, let me know what you think in the comments. Do you agree? Do you disagree? What are your thoughts on her Father's Day video? I know that obviously a lot of people do deep dives into things. Sometimes I do. It's when I can find the time to do things. I know there are so many great channels out there that do really, really credible work. So as always, thank you again for the birthday wishes, presents, cards, everything. Again, you mean so much. And yeah, I will see you in the next video. Don't forget to go along to my Bite-Sized Tea channel and subscribe there. I haven't done videos on there for the last couple of weeks because I'm kind of trying to, I want to stay away really from the Harry and Meghan stuff all the time. So I'm trying to think of something else I can sort of talk about. If you have any ideas of what I can use Bite-Sized Tea to talk about, then drop it in the comments below because I really value your thoughts and your opinions. So as always, before you drop off, don't forget to hit that like button and subscribe if you haven't already. And I will, see you in the next one. So as always, I love you, I appreciate you, but most of all, I respect you. Take care. Bye-bye.